Man, I'm talking to my damn self. Boy, I tell you, I wasn't even on the stage. That's crazy. What's good, beautiful people? It's your main man, Big G, coming at you all the way live. I'm in your space. I'm in your face, and I'm definitely blessed to be here on this wonderful day. It is June 23rd, 2026, here in the great state of Mississippi. Uh, it's a wonderful day. Actually, I have to give some props to Emily Mitchell. Yes, Miss Emily Mitchell. Um, it's her birthday today. It's a birthday today. A couple of folks celebrated birthdays. Um, my moms, Elizabeth Tapasoa celebrated her birthday this month. Yeah, man. If you got a birthday this month, put it in the comments. Let me know, and I'll give you a birthday shout out. I got something on my shirt because y'all don't be helping me out. You know what I'm saying? If I be having crust in my eyes, boogers in my nose, y'all be tripping on you, boy. Y'all supposed to put that in the comments. Yo, G, check your face, my guy. Something, anything. Not that I really give a daggone, but try to have some kind of decorum, couth, etiquette. Welcome to Industry Talk, man. We're not gonna really get into it too heavy, too hot and heavy right now. I'm returning from what I would consider a very uh, enjoyable uh, trip. Uh-oh, I think that's the wrong one. An enjoyable trip with the family. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, hold on a second. Come in a little bit. Yeah, move that thing over. Come over this way. Yeah, come in some more. There we go. Oh, y'all didn't know I had all that kind of fancy equipment to move these cameras and stuff. Yeah, yeah. It's the Fumiako, right, board for these PTZ cameras that um, we function with. Um, but it was a wonderful trip for Tolu's homecoming, Kuku High School. About 300 campers came out, had a great time. Um, it was it was fantastic. Everything about it. The people reconnecting with family, um, enjoying time with community, and reminiscing about um, everything that has been accomplished up to far. Big shout out to Brandon Akana and his family, the entire Akana family. Um, my brother David Teo, Auntie Kelly, and the entire Teo family. Kuhuku High School and the entire administrative staff at Kuhuku High School. The mayor of Hawaii, Wakea Water, and the entire Hawaiian Islands, and everything that encompasses the Polynesian culture, every ethnicity, because that was represented at the camp. Fiji, Tonga, Micronesia, Macronesia, every part of Hawaii, New Zealand, um, of course, Samoa, every part of the Polynesian culture was represented at the camp. No one was left out. White, black, Everyone was there. Korean, Japanese, everyone was there having a great time. Those kids had a ball. So back in the saddle, getting back to it. And of course, we talked about the changes that you guys are going to start seeing with the network and how we're representing everything and pushing everything out to the people and to the public. I'm going to bring Paul Whitehouse on here in just a moment, and we're going to get into our regular conversation. Um, you know, get rich and don't cry trying. Uh, and we're going to talk about what we normally talk about on Tuesdays. But I'm just checking because this is the first time I've been back in office since I've been gone. So I'm just making sure that everything is up running. You can hear me well, and we'll keep on pushing from there. Let me check these media assets on this side and see what's going on there. And I'll be bringing Paul on in just a moment. Whitehouse.
What's going on? How's a great trip, man? Sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I enjoyed it. Had an opportunity to sit back and um, be with the family, enjoy the camp. So yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. So how you doing, man? How things going?
Good. It's a good day. Everything's good as usual. Even if it's
Okay.
bad, it's still good, right? Who cares?
Yeah, you're right.
Move
You're
on.
right. Because I'm living. You get what I'm saying?
I
Because
get it.
I'm living. As long as I'm living, guess what? Tides will change. You know. You know.
Livin.
That's
Living.
right. That's right. That's right. That's why you make sure you stay out of situations to where as you make um, you know uh, decisions, temporary decisions that last a lifetime. You have to have some discernment and make sure you do things that are long lasting in a positive way, not in an adverse negative way. Because you can get frustrated, aggravated. Somebody cuts you off in line, in traffic, and next thing you know, you road raging. Now, take a deep breath, think about it. Is it really gonna be worth your time to escalate something that really doesn't matter? You know, you
And
never
they
know
made
what they might.
mistakes. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Can you hear me, Paul?
I got you loud and clear.
Okay, good deal, good deal. So, I'm thinking JB will be here with us in just a minute. What's the talk topic for today, Paul? Oh, before we get into that, um, just like all of the other segments, right, that you're starting to see throughout the network, right? We're going to have to talk about um, your time sequence on Tuesdays, right? Keeping it locked in where it is, but at the same time, just like with the other guys that are coming on Industry Talk, Inside Speaks with Jonathan Shaw, Emily Mitchell and Kiara Smith with the mental health awareness, Lamont Mitchell, Pastor Lamont Mitchell with the barbershop talk. So these are different segments that are starting to pop up, and I'm not going to be involved because I'm Industry Talk, right? You're Patriot BFC. So this block on Tuesdays now becomes your block. You see what I mean? And it's going to be you, strictly you. We'll sit back and have conversation, but it's going to be you going over whatever it is that you need to go over, talking to the people, almost like your infomercial for 30 minutes to an hour, however you want to, um, do it. You can even do pre-recorded segments. It's up to you, but live is always so much more intimate and special to me.
I
Um,
agree.
so, you know, and if you have the different talk topics and conversations, you're driving that narrative. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. So that becomes our um, muddy motivational section. We could add it into the finance section. So we have the entertainment, we're going to have the sports, we're going to have the mental health, we're going to have the finance. So each department, we're going to have inside speaks with the military point of view. So now I can function the way that I want to function with operating a network of shows through our broadcast network on a timed schedule. We're already locked in every Tuesday with the financial segment, right? And it's going to be Paul Whitehouse. We already know that. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
How's it sound to you? How's it sound to you? So that
Listen,
gives you,
Galen,
yeah.
anything you say makes sense. I trust the leader.
But that gives you an hour as you think about it week to week, because you send me your formats, we talk about what it is that you want to do. It's not like you just spitball and you have a format of what you want to do, but now it's okay. This is Paul Whitehouse's segment. You see, it's not an
Hmm.
industry talk segment, it's a Patriot BFC segment. So now, boom, that's your block during this time, right?
Cool. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And then off camera, we'll get to um, working out the details and the fine specs. And now that I'm back home and I'm really, already been thinking about how I want to do it. I gave it a test run, a week leading up to my departure with Inside Speaks, the 10 o'clock live that he does every morning because we're trying to drive traffic to Shaw's Inside Speak on YouTube. I think he's up to maybe 230 subscribers. We want to get him over 1,000 subscribers. So if you're listening, if you're paying attention, make sure you go to YouTube, subscribe, hit the bell notification to Inside Speaks. Jonathan Shaw, military point of view. Great conversation. So he jumps down live at 10 o'clock every morning, and then I hit a reboot. So if you missed the 10 o'clock segment, or if I miss the 10 o'clock segment, which I'm not going to do, we have a reboot with Inside Speaks at 11. We're going to have the reviews from Boss Talk Podcast 101. We're going to have Jonathan Shaw, John Blaze with the Cloud Chronicles, his segments. I'm talking with Coach Malachi, and we're going to start infusing his segments from what he does. It might even have that live feed that he does, from 2 to 3 or 2 to 4, which ends right before 5 o'clock with me, industry talk, and then JB will create his segment, and of course Terry Cherry will have her own standalone as well. So that's a variety of shows, but always, industry talk will be here with JB and myself and interviews and Terry Cherry, things of that nature. But it gives everyone an opportunity to assist in building the platform and being a part of making it happen. You see, so that's
Hmm.
that's the that's the that's the direction that we're going, and of course we're driving everyone's push and collaboration to get their pages monetized, the network in itself. So now this is how it goes. You have 10 different broadcast channels, information that comes out and disseminated individually and separately from industry talk that goes out over a network, and it's all cross collaboration throughout that 10 party network, if that makes any sense. So now you have 10 different entities or 10 different shows that are pushing not only their content, they're pushing the fact that they're on our network. They're pushing the fact that they're doing business and are in connection with 9 other entities, and they're helping to push and promote those same shows because it's on the network. It's inevitable, and we're driving traffic and their audiences, everybody's audiences, to the primetime network.
It's a brilliant master plan.
It's definitely going to work.
Yeah.
I know it's going to work because the people that we're doing it with are genius. It's not about me. The people that I'm dealing with, the Paul Whitehouses, the Jonathan Shaws, the Jarrell Braswells, the Terry Cherries, the Emily Mitchells, the Lamont Mitchells, the Jarian Smith, Ja Blaze, Coach Malachi, Kiara Smith. These people are geniuses and are ready to be a part of something great. Boss Talk Podcast 101, ECEO, and the official Miss Jamaica. Now, this gives me a reason because you've known for, I think, maybe 5 years now, because it was introduced through the Freeway Millionaires Club. That's how we made our connection, right, Paul?
Yeah.
That we've had Ross TV for quite some time. I have a Roku channel. You've known that, right?
Right.
But I didn't have content. So the channel was just sitting dormant.
Oh, I see what's going on here. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So not only do you see us or will you see us live and through YouTube, the Face Space, the Tiki Tac, all those different social media outlets, you can also pull us up eventually once we've built the catalog and have everyone's portfolio and dossier together. So now, on demand, you can go watch it however you want through our Roku channel. Everywhere, Paul.
Genius move. I see this. I saw how you pulled this together. Nice. You built the catalog. Okay.
Yes. Definitely built the catalog. We've built the catalog. So if you have, if in I'm not rushing anything. I just want the quality of what we're doing to be worth putting out to the public. So we're still working on and fine-tuning those things so that what people see is TV worthy, color corrected, quality, and disseminated to the public. So what you'll see on Ross TV, and you know how just like Netflix works, you can go watch what you want, you can watch the series, you can watch the episodes. That's what it'll be. It's been there. I just didn't have content. I kind of put the proverbial horse before the cart because I had built that whole infrastructure a long time ago. I'm pretty sure you still have some of those emails.
So when you started Industry Talk, was that the plan?
No. Because I've never wanted to. I was not the person that wanted to be um in front of a camera. You know that. I've always been a behind the scenes guy.
Yeah.
I
You
don't
always
have to be, huh?
you always said I got a voice for radio, but not for camera, but that turned out not to be true.
Yeah, no, I definitely got a face for radio. Although I know personally that I'm the best looking individual on the planet. That's no secret. But what I'm saying is that
That's no
I like
secret.
to do the work. I like to do the work behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Behind the camera
Yeah.
and making sure that the flow of the work and the business get handled. That's all. That's all. And since I had to, okay, it's hard to explain to people what it is that you do, right? For them to get a clear concept of, okay, this is what he's done for other individuals in the marketing, promotions, branding, and media space and had success. Not for me personally, but for the clients that I've done business with, right?
Yeah.
So to explain that, because the celebrity's not going to say, oh yeah, Galen came in and streamlined everything, make sure that our workflow process was right, got us solidified with business, make sure that we had our accounts, our business accounts, business checking, business safe, because some people don't really have business in order. They're just out there winging it. Some people's situation, you be like, bro, hire, okay, but let's get you organized. You know what I'm saying? Um, and they'll never tell you someone else did that. And it's not their job to do so, right? It's not their job to do so.
Yeah.
So when it comes to after years of helping and assisting in building others' platform, and and if you notice, once I pulled away from a lot of stuff, a lot of things kind of went down for some people too, because that's you didn't respect the process. And so
Connections.
now, yeah, things change. So now, okay, I'll do it for myself just to show you, this is my process. This is how I've done it for others. And every time it's worked. I'm not saying it's all easy, but the process, the model, the success model, I always talk about the success model and the sustainability in business. That's what that's what we do. So now I'm doing it for myself, not to prove a point, but just to show folks this is how I do what I do. And if no one else is talking about you, Paul, if no one's talking about you, because if you notice, I don't talk about myself. I talk about other people. I talk about other people's success. I talk about other people's business. I try to pour into, and I don't want to use the word try because I do. I pour into other people and their brilliance and shine a very bright light on it. Or else we wouldn't be sitting here talking right now, Paul. You're a brilliant, genius individual. You have great conversation as it relates to finance, business, giving folks opportunities to access capital for their businesses, and giving them opportunity to sit there and learn a little bit about how to make that happen. Whether
Well,
it be
thank
through,
you.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to say this is so much reminding me of connections, which we talked about last week.
Yes,
Everybody
we
you
did.
mentioned that's going to be on Freeway Rick Ross TV on Roku is through their connection with you, connections with Industry Talk, connections with Galen Smith. You shine a light on people. You pour effort into them. That's a lot. I mean, not a lot of people do that, and it's
Yeah.
selfless. It's very selfless. So, I mean, I love and
Well,
respect you, bro.
well, let me say this. Let me say this. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Be honest. 'Cause I gotta be honest with you. It's not about being selfless. I'm giving a lot of personal energy, time, efforts, but I'm playing the long game because I know this will pay off. You see,
Mhm.
the fruits of the labor and the dividends that come within this industry take time. It's not an overnight process. So I'm not doing it in vain and I'm not doing it for free. No one that is on this ship with me, right? Or us, you know what I'm saying? I don't speak French. I can say we, but whoever is on this road with us, no, we're in it to make money. This is a business, right? So it's not, oh, let's lock arms and let's try. No. I'm not the person that's going to be like, hey man, you got a shirt? Send me a shirt so I can. Nah, I'm gonna buy the shirt. I'm gonna buy the book. I'm gonna buy the. But also understand that if I buy your stuff in bulk, and everybody doesn't do this, and then turn around and sell it retail on my site and distribute it, because that means I have to promote it. That means I have to sit there and put it on the site. I have to sell it, ship it, pack it. Guess what? I'm becoming a distributor that you never even knew that you had, because I enjoy distribution. Because at the end of the day, if you sell something for $15 and I can turn around and sell it for $17, because I'm not trying to hit you over the head, I'm just trying to sit there and make a little bit of bread. Then
Profit's
guess
not a
what?
bad word,
You know, so
right?
that's how it flows. That's the ebb and flow of it. All too often, celebrities want the gimme. No, I can't give you the gimme. It costs me to actually produce what it is that I'm doing. So for me to give you means that I'm taking away from what I'm doing. And then you're not going to promote it the way that I want you to promote it as a celebrity. Now, if you're a celebrity and you're gonna sit there and take it over the top with me, and you're gonna sit there and ride or die, man, I give you stuff all the time. But that's not what people do. They just grifting. They're trying to take advantage of a situation. Nah, get the grift out the way. It's no. You cannot grift over on this side of the table because they have too many people that are a part of this that are real apex predators. You understand what I'm saying?
I like the way you said that. Yeah.
No, really.
No,
Really?
I know I'm with you on the really, but I like the way you said it. Apex predators. Yes.
Yes. At the top of the food chain. Not, you
In it for
know,
real.
yes, in it for real. Not bottom dwellers, not plecostomus. You know what a plecostomus is?
No, tell me.
Okay, a plecostomus is a freshwater fish that feeds off the bottom of the ocean or the bottom of a freshwater river. You put them in your fish tank and it eats up all the algae. It's a bottom sucker. We don't have any plecostomus in the crew. Now, I'm not saying you don't need plecostomus in the working order of getting things done, because you need bottom feeders to do the dirt, do dirty work. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got to keep stuff clean. But no, when it comes to who we're dealing with and how we're getting things done, apex predators, mastodons, we're real folks with real vision and real intention and wanting to sit there and actually have an effect in changing their entire community. Yeah. I know these people aren't just thinking about themselves. Angel Williams wrote the children's books. She's been waiting for quite some time, and then she finally made the decision to drop her books. Man, this stuff is everywhere. Everywhere.
It's all right.
You get what I'm saying? You know, that's she did it. She did it. You know what I'm saying? And so to see that and know that these are the types of individuals that you're dealing with, folks that really don't care too much for the BS. They don't have time to play because they got families, they got things to live for. They're just trying to sit there and find a community of individuals that are ready to press forward. So when you find that in people, Paul, you know, the synergy or that symbiotic relationship. I know I'm throwing out a whole bunch of cliche words right now.
I like it. Keep it going.
But it changes and it moves the tide. The momentum of that kind of energy with people together working, you can't destroy it. You can't diffuse it, because guess what? I'm not trying to be in their lane. I'm not trying to be in Paul Whitehouse's lane. I'm not trying to be in the mental health lane. No, that's their lane. But guess what? I can help you push. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you don't eat? I can help you with some gas. Oh man, you know what I'm saying? You get my point?
That so much ties in with what we're going to talk about today. Everything you said ties in with what's going to happen in a little bit.
So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
All right. Well, if you're hungry, you got to pay the bill. I'm not talking about physically hungry.
Right.
Yeah, if you're physically hungry, you got to go pay the bill at the grocery store. If you go out to eat, you got to pay the bill at the restaurant. But I'm talking about in life and in business. If you are hungry, you got to pay the bill. What's the bill? The bill is anything you got to do it legally, morally, and ethically. All the effort.
Hold on, Paul. You said legally, morally, and ethically, right?
Within those bounds.
Okay, I feel you, but you do realize that I deal with individuals that don't do things legally, morally, or ethically. I hope you understand that.
You're not going to hurt my feelings. I got plenty of friends too. I got friends too. All right.
Okay. I mean, it's been a whole big issue with my brother Fred Ricky Ross and some new information that's coming out about Danilo Blandone and Barry Seals and the CIA and the cocaine being brought into Mena, Arkansas. Old Billy Clinton was the governor at the time. But anyway, we're not talking about that. Neither here nor there. But then being distributed all over the world. All over the continental United States, you see?
4 metric
tons. Oh, man. I don't even people understand how much that is.
A lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot. Let's just say it's a lot, right?
Yeah.
So just so you understand, the people that we're talking to definitely have a moral compass, but when it comes to um, you know, pushing the bounds of legality. But big shout out to my brother Federal Nightmares, Paper Williams. You know what I mean? Out there representing for our brother Boosie Badass in a major way. Terry Allred out there in Greensboro, North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, my brother? Deron Black in Kansas City. I'm telling you, man, we got people from everywhere that tune in and tap into what we got going on every day and in every way. I'm just saying. Regine Gagne out there in the UK. What's going on, Miss Lady? We're gonna really lock that situation down with Real Records here pretty soon. I'm getting the opportunity to get all my ducks in order. Sean Johnson Comedy, what's going on with it? Sean Johnson Comedy, welcome to the show. Welcome to the party. Yes, indeed. Angel Williams, welcome to the party. Okay, Trey Coleon, what's going on, Trey? Fam in the building. I can't see what's on YouTube for some odd reason. I can't see what's on Twitch, but we got some people in the party. But not to cut you off, Paul. But keep on going, man. Talk to me.
Well, Hungary, you got to pay the bill. What's that mean? What do you got to do to get what you want to get done? You got to do a lot. You got to be willing to accept disappointment because you might run into it, but you also got to be willing to like blast through that brick wall, knowing that 5 minutes from now, 10 minutes from now, next day, next month, 6 months from now, it's going to happen, whatever it is that you're trying to make happen. There's a lot of things you got to go through when you're trying to pay that bill. Sleepless nights, a little bit of worry. I say throw the worry away and just keep on going forward. But I mean, I'm talking to you, and you personally know, whoever's listening to me, you know what the bill is. You've already paid it. You know what it is. Maybe lack money for a while. I've been through that, man. I've started some businesses and I've lacked money for a little while, but then it worked. And when it works, you're glad you did what you did. There's just so much to go through to pay that bill. I'm going to talk about Jay Shaw and Steven Gonzalez. Steven's going to be on this show. I don't know what the date is, but he told me he's going to be on the show. I met him through Jay Shaw. Jay Shaw's paying the bill. He's
On
spending
the 26th, he'll be, Gonzalez will be on the 26th.
Man, he's a good man. I met him. We had an hour and a half conversation. Jay Shaw's paying the bill with what he's doing. All the effort, all the everything that he's putting into what he's doing, and he's doing it with his talent, with his voice, with his personality. Steven Gonzalez, I'm not going to tell the story. You'll hear it on the 26th. But what he went through, first off, what he went through to get to the point to where he knew he had to create what he's created. And briefly, what it is a support system for veterans and even non-veterans. Problems when the VA stops, when his words, when the appointments start to widen, when you're not getting all the help you need, there needs to be something else. And he's trying to put it into the system to where it's part of insurance. He's building it. He's going through a lot, and he built it. We've talked about this subject before, Galen. Guerrilla warfare, working with what you got when you got nothing. He did it on his phone and free trials. So, and probably lack of sleep and a lot of all the effort he's putting into it right now. But paying the bill, those two guys are paying the bill, and the future is going to be hugely successful for them. So in the comments, please tell me, how have you paid the bill? What have you had to go through in order to get to the successful point where you are or where you want to be? Along the way, while you're paying the bill, reach out for help. There's people, industry talk. Everything Galen just said led into what I'm talking about right now. There's help out there. You can connections. We talked about connections last week, man. Connections, calling people who can help guide you, and that makes the bill less expensive. Okay. The bill is expensive. Let me not diminish it. The bill is expensive. If you're building a big business, the bill is expensive. Let me give you a good example. Check this out. Richard Branson, Virgin Airlines. A lot of you probably seen this on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. If you haven't, here's how this guy did this with other people's money. And if he did this, imagine what we can do if we're building something smaller, like a manufacturing company, like a cannabis business, like a recording studio, a career in music, entertainment, construction company, a trucking company, traditional businesses. Listen to what this man did. I'm going to read it. Richard Branson launched Virgin Atlantic without equity by using other people's money. He leased a second-hand Boeing 747 from Boeing in the 1980s by leveraging revenue and advanced ticket sales and negotiating delayed fuel payments. The legend of Virgin Atlantic became a global airline who, becoming a global airline, began with an impromptu Caribbean trip and a chalkboard. A chalkboard. The canceled flight. Branson was in his late 20s, stranded at an airport in Puerto Rico when his flight to the Virgin Islands was abruptly canceled. Desperate to get to his destination, he called an aircraft charter company and inquired about renting a private plane. $39 chalkboard trick. Realizing he didn't have enough cash, because 39 bucks was probably a lot of money back then, to pay for the charter on his own, he calculated the cost, divided it between the number of stranded passengers. He borrowed a small blackboard and wrote Virgin Airlines, $39 single flight, as a joke, and sold the remaining seats to the bumped passengers. The passengers paid the fare, which covered the cost of the chartered airline. After they landed in the British Virgin Islands, a delighted passenger told him Virgin Airways isn't too bad. Smarten up the service and you could be in business. So he did. The call to Boeing. Inspired by the successful experiment, Branson called Boeing. He just called them up. We've talked about this on the show before. Call people, call 1,000 people, and you're going to get something good. I guarantee it. Called up Boeing the following day and asked if they had any secondhand 747s for sale. Imagine calling up somebody and saying you got an airplane for sale, a jet. He convinced a Boeing rep to lease him an idle Boeing 747 for 1 year, allowing him to get the airline off the ground without putting down massive capital. The business model. To bypass the traditional barrier to entry, which is needing hundreds of millions of dollars in capital to buy an aircraft, Branson utilized cash flow and creative deal making. We've talked about this. Creative capital, creative deal making. This is how he did it. Advanced ticket sales. Passengers purchased their tickets in advance, meaning cash came in months before the plane took off. Deferred payments. He was able to pay for fuel 30 days after the plane landed. Brilliant. Leasing in arrears. The initial aircraft lease payments were similarly structured to be paid in arrears. That means paid later, 30 days later, 60 days later. Negotiating. If you ask for it, you can get it. This allowed him to launch Virgin Atlantic with zero equity. An airline with zero equity? I don't think anybody's ever done that before. So, man, if he can do that, and we've talked about a lot of this stuff on Industry Talk.
Yes.
So, yeah. So he paid the bill. He paid the bill before he did that because, I mean, an ordinary person who hasn't been through it, who hasn't tried to do it, who hasn't sat and thought and dreamed, your dreams can come true, man, and ladies. It can come true, even if you don't think it can. That's why we do this show. That's what I want to do with people. I want to inspire them. I want business, of course. I'm in it to make money like Galen. I'll help you with business financing. But this show is about inspiring people to say, I can do it. And if you don't know how to do it, we're going to give you a blueprint. We're going to give you ideas, ways to do it, ways to talk to people. Study your subject. Know the language. When you call these people, call 1,000 people in the industry that you want to be in, and you don't even understand what you're going to get from that. 1,000 phone calls, if you get 3% success rate, that is 30 people. And if there's 30 people in your corner trying to help you, that's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. And then keep calling. Call 10,000 people. Then you've got 300 people in your corner. That's if your success rate's only 3%. It could be 5 or 7%. There's so much to talk about in business and in life. And that's what industry talk is for. There's connections to help you get there. Connections, information turns into knowledge. Turn it into knowledge and use the knowledge. We've all made mistakes. I've made mistakes. I've sat on knowledge and not used it. But then when I thought about it and tried to use it, it worked. Sometimes things work immediately. That's the best, clearly. But if it doesn't work immediately and you believe in it, you might be one day away. Never give up. Because if you give up, you'll never know if you were one day away from $10 million, from $1 billion, from whatever your goal is, whatever your goal is. Galen, come on back in, rescue me, man. I've been here alone for a while. Come on.
No, you're not. You're definitely not alone. I'm listening. I'm paying attention. Like I said, just like what I was talking about earlier, is going to be your hour segment. 30. You got to figure out if you want 30 minutes or you want an hour. And
Okay.
it's not going to be you and me. It's going to be Patriot BFC. It's like your infomercial. You
Okay.
get what I mean?
Now I
So
understand. All right, I got
right. I want you to get used to knowing that. Okay, when I come on to do the Patriot BFC segment, that's going to be my hour.
you. I got
So
you.
whatever you bring to the table, whatever you present, that's what you're going to be bringing to the table. I'm just in the back in the studio pushing the buttons, working, different breaks or segments or chiming in with whatever. But it's your segment,
Got it.
just like just like just like you see Jonathan Shaw's segment. You don't see me at all on Jonathan Shaw's segment. You see what I mean?
I hear it. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, I can do that.
but there again, since you saying you the raft is sinking, I'll come on back.
All right. Well, I'll be ready. Now that I know, now I get it. Okay, I can do that. I can
Yeah,
pull it off. Yeah.
I know you can. I know you can. That's why I was saying, what we'll do is we'll take some time, and outside of this, and you'll come on with me. I'll send you the link. You'll come in studio. We'll do some drops. We'll do your intros, Patriot BFC, whatever the case may be. Just come up with your liners so that we can have a intro for you. So it's your intro, not the industry talk intro, right?
Yeah.
Um, and then all of the catchphrases, taglines, anything else that we need to have, and of course, it's presented by, of course, Paul Whitehouse. And then we'll talk about everything else off camera. You get what I mean? About
Yeah.
how you sit there and how we're going to build it to where it's a show. It's your show. It's your talk segment. Just like uh, what was the guy? The shock jock, satellite radio. Was it Howard Stern?
Mm.
Damn,
Okay. Well, I
um,
like it. That's exciting. Now I get it. Oh, yeah, I'm
yeah.
down. I'm in. I like this. Okay. All
And
right.
of course, on industry talk, you come, we talk about stuff on industry talk as well. But this, like I said, I'm wanting to build a regular, like you go to a program guide and you see, okay, at this time this is going to be on. I'm gonna watch this. At 12 o'clock, I know that the reviews are going to be going with Boss Talk Podcast 101. At 10 o'clock in the morning, I know Inside Speaks is going to be on. If I'm up and I want to sit there and check it out, if I miss it at 10 o'clock, I got a reboot on Inside Speaks. I know that In the Heat of the Night comes on at 11 o'clock with Jarrell Braswell and Big G. Industry Talk with Terry Braswell and Big G. On Tuesdays, 5 o'clock spot, Paul Whitehouse, Patriot BFC. You see, you get me now?
I follow. I'm in. I'm
Yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah,
What do
yeah.
you think about paying the bill? You're hungry, pay the bill. What are your thoughts on that?
Um, yeah, it's inevitable. You know, um, no matter how you go through the process, at the end of the day, the bills got to be paid. You know, it's got to be paid. And sweat equity is internal, right? What you put into what you believe in and your desires to complete the task, that's what you want to do. That's your sweat equity. On the other side of that, you can't put your beliefs on other people thinking that you're going to pay them with sweat equity. They're not going to sit there and go with that. Well, do this and we'll you'll gain something in the long run. No, I'm not looking at the long run when it comes to me. For example, doing some graphics and illustration, or registering your works, or helping you create your platforms, or help you distribute. No, I'm not looking for the long term. I'm looking for the right now, because I don't know how dedicated you are to your own success. So, paying the bill, yeah, paid in full. How about that? And at the same time, knowing that if you're out here thinking that um, people are ignorant to the grift, no, you're playing yourself. People are well aware of the scam, the tactic, the nonsense behavior. And like you said earlier, when you're speaking with people, you have to know what you're talking about. Because
When I
within the
say,
first, yeah, because within the first 30 seconds, 15 to 30 seconds, someone will know if they pay attention to life, that you don't know what you're talking about.
when I say
You know?
pay the bill, what I mean is doing everything required to get to wherever you want to be. If you want to have a construction company,
Yeah, I get
yeah,
that. I know. I get exactly what you're saying. But I'm just adding a different caveat to what you've been talking about, because I'm showing you on the from where I'm going, Paul, is at the end of the day, it's on you,
mm, true.
the
Yeah,
individual.
so true.
You see, so um, um, regardless of what kind of foresight you may have in things that you want to do to engineer to get there in terms of paying the bill, it's going to be on you. That's my point.
Totally. Yeah, I
Okay.
totally agree.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
and a lot of times people forget that, and they try to put the onus of what they're trying to do on other people without compensation, right? And that doesn't work. You
No.
see, so if that's why I led in with sweat equity. You see that you have to allow my slow mind to process things for people, because I know you guys are geniuses. For me, I'm just a
Not me,
basic
you.
rudimentary type of individual, so I
You.
just push it out on the level that I can push it out on. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's I'm tapping into what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Pay the bill, but I'm trying to bring it around in terms of knowing that you have to, if you're going to be the independent guy and gal, you got to pay the bill all the way around the table in
Yeah.
everything that you do. And there's no slack in terms of, okay, what it is that comes with that. Angel Williams has paid the bill and is still paying the bill. She got it done. She had the books already in the chute, ready to go, just sitting there. She's looking at them. La 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 la. I wonder what I need to do with these books. La 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 la. She's had them done, completed, everything in order. Right? All she had to do was press a button. Bing! Jonathan Shaw was telling her, "Hey, come on, lady, what you doing? What we gonna do?"
Push the
It
button.
it was up, but guess what? Nobody else could make her push that button. She made that decision, and once she made that decision, it's like a rocket ship, like a rocket ship, just took off. So pay the bill, yeah, just pay the bill, but it's all incumbent upon who you are and what it is that you're trying to get accomplished and done.
Yeah.
And so
I
back
mean,
to what I was, yeah, go ahead.
well, it's like if you're okay, two things are just popping into my mind.
Okay,
One,
just two.
just two. One version of paying the bill is if you're trying to build something
Yeah,
and you need money to do it and you can't get money to do it, just can't get, let's say it's not asset based. You can't borrow money to build it's not a construction company. We talked about this with the books before.
right.
If you need to come up with a chunk of money, how do you pay that bill? How do you get it? And what does paying the bill looks like? That could be fundraising through groups of people. Somebody, I spoke with somebody about this last week. He asked me, how do I come up with 10,000 bucks? No assets, no way to do it. I said, go speak in front of a bunch of groups. It's a veterans organization. I said, go to all the VFWs, tell them what you're creating. If 300 people chip in 30 bucks, that is $9,000. Go to owners, go to veteran owned businesses. What you're building is very important. It's very useful for veterans. That's paying the bill. All that effort, making 1,000 phone calls is a example of paying the bill.
You talking about Vigil?
Huh?
Are you talking
Yeah,
about Vigil, Stephen Gonzalez?
that's
Okay.
all. Yeah. I mean, paying the bill for him is all the effort that it's going to take and the grind. The grind is the bill. The grind is dialing, getting disappointed, waiting for callbacks. But the victory is when somebody says, I love it. Here's 500 bucks, not 30 bucks.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
the
Right.
grind can be if you if you need to come up with sometimes you got to go work a regular job to come up with, but don't go work minimum wage. Go into some type of sales field. Go sell cars. You can make 10, 15,000 bucks a month selling cars. If you're trying to build a business and you need 25 or $30,000 to get going, what you got going, what you want to get going, your dream, you might have to delay the dream, go into a high paying sales commission job. Hourly will not do it. Go do that for 3 months or 6 months. Build the war chest of money. There's so many, and that's paying the bill. You don't really want to do it. You just want your business to be built and be successful. But you might have to go do that. That's an example of you got to pay the bill.
Mhm.
And what you're talking about, the sweat equity thing, I totally agree with you. You're not, if you need to build, if you need to get 250 signs to put out to promote your business, right? You're cutting grass, you got a landscaping business. You need yard signs. You need 250. That's about $1,000. Well, you're not going to be able to call that company who, you know, manufactures those signs and say, hook me up. I'll pay you on I'll make you a 5% owner. That's not, no, you got to have money to pay that bill. That's a different type of bill than what we're talking about.
That's
But you
right.
got to pay that bill in person, in cash before you get the product. Uh, and that's the majority of it. I mean, you got to pay most everything in cash. Their businesses aren't going to there might be a business that gives you terms. They'll give you 30 days, maybe, but probably not. If you're a startup, you're not going to get 30-day terms. If you're an existing business and you've been working with them well, let me walk that backwards. Richard Branson got 30 days to pay his gas, and he was a startup. So a lot of things can happen if you ask, if you ask.
Mhm.
And maybe if
Yep.
you know the owner, let's say you know the owner to a sign company. Hey, man, give me
Yeah.
30 days. If you ask, you can get.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. So, like I'm saying, Paul,
Yeah,
um, get yourself prepared,
I'll be ready.
ready to go. Because like I said, we're at the point to where we can really start um, soft promoting the the broadcast channels and segments that you're going to start seeing over the primetime network,
Okay.
right? And we'll start talking about how we're going to fine tune everything because everyone's program needs to be crisp, it needs to be clear, it needs to be, you know, ready to go. But we're still keeping it live, keeping it real, keeping it funky, um, because it's for the people. What we're doing, like you say, is informational. It's things to assist. But at the same time, what we're building turns into a true broadcast network of a variety of shows. The Cloud Chronicles, with Jeremy and Blaze, Ja Blaze, who is, of course, the official podcast channel for Freeway Records. Coach Malachi with True Media Boxing and his live program. Make sure you guys tap in to both of them. Subscribe to their YouTube channel, Inside Speaks with Jonathan Shaw. Make sure you go tap in with Inside Speaks Military Point of View, Military Veterans Point of View. I stand corrected. Always remember MVP, Jonathan Shaw, and subscribe. We're pushing to build and assist in building his YouTube channel to where he can get monetized through the great content that he pushes out over YouTube and all social media. I mean, Patriot BFC will have their segment here with Paul Whitehouse here pretty soon. Individual Emily Mitchell, Kiara Smith with the mental health segment will also be involved. Lamont Mitchell, Pastor Lamont Mitchell, will be here with his segment as well. Terry Cherry is working in building her studio as we speak. She talked to me the other day. She went and had her whole setup designed with the nice pink. I'm not going to give it away, but she has her set that she's working on. Jarrell Braswell has always been working on his studio out in Bessemer. I mean, I say Bessemer. I don't know why Bessemer's on my mind, but out in Wetumpka, Alabama. But he's traveling so much, right? But it's taking him a little time to do what he's got to do, and he's doing it piece by piece because he's booked every weekend on that Bubba Dub um, tour that he's on. So, like I said, man, as everything evolves and all of the time slots are filled, then you'll get a clear understanding of what we're building, And it just takes a little bit more of logistic savvy so that it's streamlined and it moves and flows without any hiccups. It can be put on autopilot, basically. You see,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I'm working towards. And at the end point of it, knowing that the same information will be disseminated and distributed through our Roku channel on Ross TV, right? Which is already there, but there's no content. I removed all content that was there because I don't want you to just watch 3 videos. I want you to be able to watch a series of videos and information that you want to actually be entertained with and through. Motivational content, and of course, all of that comes with sponsors, that comes with commercials, advertisement. Everything gets tied into it because it's a broadcast network at this point. I've been talking about utilizing these platforms as your own broadcast network for years. Now I'm showing you what I was talking about.
Mm. Wow. I love this idea. I'm super excited about this. I'm ready for it. This is freaking badass, Galen. This is
Mhm.
killer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm. So it's coming down the pipe. It's already here. And of course, all the other components are falling into place. Um, and we're good. We're ready to go, man. We're situated. We're in good position to move forward. Now, Vigil, let's go back to Vigil and Steve Gonzalez. I'm not sure what he's going after. That's not my business. We'll talk about it on the 26th. Um, but the one thing with any business that's a virtual business, right?
Hmm.
You have to have a mouthpiece. You have to have that megaphone. And what is that megaphone? Do you know what that megaphone is, Paul?
Well, one of them is industry talk. The
Yes,
first one,
definitely.
the first megaphone is the founder of the company. And if the founder of the company is not the personality to do it, then you got to get a spokesperson who is.
Right, right.
But one of them is industry talk.
Yeah. So that's basically my point. You gotta have a microphone, a megaphone, and somebody talking about the business 24/7. Think about
Right.
that.
Yeah, you're
Think
right.
about because if nobody can tap into hearing about who you are, and you're not a voice loud enough for people to hear, because you only hear okay, just in your local community may hear about you, but you want a larger bandwidth. Well, there are ways to do that. You can pay to play, but you also have opportunities to come through things like this,
Right.
platforms like this, that don't mind helping individuals push their message. But for him to win in that virtual space, he has to every day get on this squawk box, this virtual matrix that we have, every last one of those platforms, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube. Did I say IG? Yeah. You have to be on all of them, and you have to push your brand every day.
Mhm.
Every day.
There's a
Sometimes two,
couple
three. Yeah, go
there's
ahead.
a couple more keys on that piano that you forgot. And
Yeah.
this is what him and I talked about. Exact everything you just said, completely 1,000,000%. Also, for him to take this where he's going, he has to hit the insurance companies, hit the VA, make
Yeah.
contacts and connections so he can get this as a product, as a service, not a product, as a service that
Right.
insurance covers for people. And that's going to happen through connections. You might have that. I mean, every connection can take you somewhere. So he's got to hit everything that you described, and he's got to make. I mean, he's a one man show. Okay,
Right.
he's got to contact. He's got 10 fronts that he's got to attack.
Mm-hmm.
Fundraising through phone calls,
Right.
veteran owned businesses. Here's what I'm building. It's going to help our community. Will you
Mm-hmm.
donate to me so I can build this so I can help people recover from serious issues? He's got to
Right.
hit that angle. He's got to hit all the social media platforms. He can
Right.
pay to play, but paying to play is super expensive.
That's
And like
right.
you said, he can come on the industry talk, and there's others. You can call up and get on a podcast. Listen, I don't have a face for camera either, Galen.
Yeah.
And I never made videos until I started Patriot Business Finance Consultants. You know what I did? Cannabis Talk Radio 101. I went on that show. I called him. I saw Mark Wasserman. I don't know if you know who he is, but Mark Wasserman shut. They trademarked or registered trademark STFU. Shut the fuck up. When you get pulled over by the cops, they have a 25-word script. I saw him everywhere. And I called him up. I said, man, let me be on your show. And he says, come to California. I just asked for it. That's it. I got on a huge show and I got made money from it because I got
That's
deals
right.
out
That's
because
right.
I asked the question. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. I just asked. I asked to meet Rick. And through Rick, I met you. And I developed a great friendship with you because I asked for something and I wasn't afraid to do it. So, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, back to Steve. He's got to do everything you described. and a little bit more every single day, every day. He's got to call those insurance companies, make that happen, and he's got to fundraise through personal connections because um, what he has built, it's not a physical asset; it's a digital asset.
That's right.
So I can't really help him pull money. I can do unsecured credit, but that's expensive. He doesn't want to go that route. So I just
Mhm.
gave him better information. And that underscores what we do here, Galen.
Mhm.
I mean, I want to make money. I want deals. That's why I'm here. But
Right.
also, I don't need to make money and I don't need to do a deal to help you, whoever's listening to this. We're here
Mhm.
to help you on this show. And, you know, dude, I could keep rambling, but that's what I'm saying right
Right.
there.
Right. And big shout out to my niece, Phoenix, down there in Oahu, Laia. You know what I'm saying? God's home. You know what I mean? Big shout out to my niece. Aloha. Talofa with Samoan. You know what I'm saying? So on the Samoan side of it. Shay Waller, Marilyn Smith. What's going on, Mom? How you doing? Much love to everybody that joined the live. You know what I'm saying? I try to give a shout out to everybody that pops in, you know what I mean, and pops out.
Yeah.
Whether you stay through the whole thing or the whole process, you know, it's okay. Now, my little niece, we were at the hotel where she, you know, she runs this food thing at this hotel, right? Um, Phoenix, talking about Phoenix, and of course I put her on camera just to say hello, and you know what I'm saying whoop whoop whoop. She cussed me out.
Well, how come?
I don't know. Maybe she didn't want to be on camera. I don't know, man. But she
How
cussed
old
me
is
out.
she?
But I'm not going to reveal her age. But she cussed me out in Samoan. She didn't think I understood what she was saying. That's okay.
You're just trying to help, man, make world
It was
famous.
funny. Yeah, but I was embarrassing her. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't intentional. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't seen her in over 8 years, right? In over eight
Yeah,
years. Hadn't been back to Hawaii in 8 years. So we were having a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
for sure.
But big shout out to um, my little niece, Agnes's daughter, Phoenix, and the entire family. But Paul, so what do you think about the setup, the future setup, the setup moving forward?
I love it, man. I'm excited. I didn't understand fully until you told me halfway through when I said, "Hey, Galen, come on in." I'm ready.
Uh-huh.
It's easy. I'll pick
Yeah, it
subjects
is.
to talk about. I'm very excited about it. I like
Yeah,
this.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
Oh yeah.
And you can see how it'll blossom your audience. You know, you
Yes.
start promoting to your audience. You start promoting, um, 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 uh, or have graphics and snippets that we start pushing out strictly for Paul Whitehouse, and you start to see it grow. You know,
I
I was
certainly do.
told I was told the other day that hey man, I opened up my phone and guess the first thing that popped up me, you know. So and it wasn't me talking to me, it was me talking to someone else, and they told me that, you know, our content is being recommended. That's what it's telling me, you see. um and that's how productive we're being without knowing that you're being productive. When you do this thing every day, think about how many videos that is, Paul. From January, when we just started, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, at the top of the year, because we said we're going to kick this thing off. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Then it evolves into every day, live at 5. And then from live at 5, it branches off into 6 to 7 different programs that are going to start participating in this cohort.
Yeah, I fully understand what you're saying. I mean, I imagine from when you started this in January, you've certainly got more than 300 videos in circulation, and
That's
then
exactly,
boom, it
exactly.
goes these ways. Yeah, I get it. I get this.
Yeah. So now think about this. Not only do we promote and distribute the videos that I create every day, we also have a collaborative with 10 other individuals that are going to be doing the same thing. So now you're 10xing not just what I'm doing.
Hmm.
Across the board, everyone is now building their content, and we're pushing each other's content through a platform and through a network that has global impact.
Math does not lie, and math
No,
compounds. It compounds, and compounding is huge.
yes,
It's a snowball getting bigger, rolling down the mountain,
that's right. So
turning
this
into an
digital
apple.
snowball is on the way, Paul.
You know? Let me give that a Ric Flair. Woo! Woo! Yeah.
Ah, they say Rick Flair used to,
That was a weak Ric Flair.
weak or
Woo!
not, they say Rick used to love that booger sugar, baby.
He did. He did. He's all right. Yeah.
I'm not
Not like
knocking him. I'm just saying it's just
yeah.
just little tidbits of information that that stick in my brain about people and individuals.
Well, you couldn't tell by his eyes, could you?
I could tell by that vein popping out the side of his neck and in his complexion going from pale to beet shot red. Yes, he on something. Him and Randy Savage.
All right, all right. Are you gonna make me do it? Are you gonna make me do this? The Ric Flair?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a
We
jet
don't want to look.
flying, wine and dining, diamond ring
There
wearing,
it is.
Rolex watch wearing, limousine riding, kiss stealing, son of a gun. Woo!
You know who gonna love that? Mr. Touchdown. Mr. Touchdown gonna love that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got them WWE belts. They got them gold belts down there that they serious about it down there in Florida, man. Mr. Touchdown gonna love that. I need to sit there and clip that. You know what I'm saying?
I
Ric
can't keep
Flair,
these gators down.
the nature boy.
Yeah.
That's what's up, Paul. Hey, look, man. It's 19 after 6. I ain't even know we was talking for an hour. That's all right. That's what's up. Time flies when you're having fun, man. Any last words before we get up out of here?
Money for your business. That's why we're here. If you want to get hold of me, please contact gemsit.org. Equipment financing, creative capital, cash flow, growth capital, investment, and commercial real estate financing. Difficult credit, don't worry about it. We can make it happen. If you've been turned down by your bank and you think you're dead in the water, guess what? You're not. Your bank's only got so many programs. We've got more. So we're here to help with money for your business. That's what we do. We're here to help build your business. And on Industry Talk, we're here to help give information which turns into knowledge. I mean, I'm going to shout you out, Galen. Dude, when I talk with you on the phone,
Hmm.
my brain grows. And when I listen to the beginning of this show, I mean, this is excellent, incredible information, and then let it turn into knowledge and use the connections that you've got with Industry Talk. Look at all the people that are going to get their own promoted. Look what he's doing. Look at this. Rick Ross TV. I didn't know I was going to get this opportunity. I didn't know it. And now I got it, and I'm amazed. So, woo! Thank you, Galen.
That's what's happening, man.
Down.
That's what's happening, man. That's what's up, Paul. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for over 5+ years of us building a relationship. And there's nothing that I can say to make people understand that I love comedy, right? I love satire. I love metaphor. I love, foreshadowing. I enjoy theater, and life is certainly, as you see it and as you play the roles in your own life, theater. And I like to enjoy myself. I'm not restricted. I'm not, bound by anything. And I definitely don't suppress my thoughts with negativity. And I express myself. The only reason why I've begun to um, circumscribe myself on this box is because they have this thing called community guidelines. so, so um, I really like for people to get to know me for who I am, because what you see is what you get. It's just God honest truth, It's not like I'm this way on this thing and then another way somewhere else. Um, I'm an asshole on this. I'm an asshole in person, right? But it's hard. It's hard to sit there and let folks see how genuine you are when you have to play the the television role in this marketing industry. Okay, keeping it professional, keeping it above board, keeping it mainstream, keeping it to whereas what PG, to whereas people can and children can watch the content without being, blown out of the water. Because a lot of times when I push my videos and my content, because I know my content gets real and raw, the conversations I have with different individuals from um, uh, individuals that have been incarcerated for 27 years, like a Damon Vega, or a drug dealer like a Pharrell Ricky Ross, back in the day, or one of the head prostitutes coming out of off of Figueroa, just and of course you see in their life change, and they're talking about their life changes, and what it took for them to get out of where they were to where they are present day. Those are real conversations that you can't curtail the speech, right?
Right.
And it may not necessarily be age appropriate for individuals, but it's still the kind of content that I push: edgy, raw, real, gully gully conversations that you know people need to hear because it's real life. And sometimes these social media platforms, that's why I always push having your own platforms and utilize these outlets as opportunities to broadcast, and disseminate the information, and always direct them to your home base, which is gemsitpublishing.com. So, what I mean? That's a shameless plug. gemsitpublishing.com. Once again, I'm not really trying to reiterate it, but gemsitpublishing.com.
What was that? gemsitpublishing.com?
Yes, you got it.
Okay, let me
Uh,
let me write that down. gemsitpublishing.com.
yeah,
I
you
got it.
sure you got it, Paul?
I got it.
Okay, good deal, good deal. And so getting it kind of, I segued that back to make reference to Steve Gonzalez, and what we were talking about earlier, is because if no one is talking about what it is that you do in terms of promoting and marketing the brand, just because you're talking about it, it's not going to get, like I say, the bandwidth. You can talk about yourself all day, but who else is talking about you, right?
Right.
Um, and not just talking about you, but talking about you behind closed doors in their circles, because everybody has their own intimate circles behind closed doors, and speaking positive about what it is that you're doing and breathing life into what it is that you're doing and expressing to individuals about how special you are based on what you've done and what kind of effect you've had in their lives. That's social impact that radio, television, or anything else out there cannot penetrate. You and I having a personal connection and a personal affinity to getting things done and accomplished. That's a personal situation. Us getting on the phone and talking for hours, that's a personal connection. So when I go talk to someone outside of our sphere of influence and they say, hey, man, do you know somebody that can help me with financing? Yeah, I got my partner, Paul Whitehouse. You can get on the phone with him. Why would I do that? Because I've built that relationship. You know, I could say, yeah, man, I got my man over here at Keesler Federal Credit Union, I'd be more than happy to help you. Yeah, sure, I could, but I don't have a relationship. I'm just sending you to the bank. Or, hey, man, I have some personal issues. I'm dealing with PTSD. I'm dealing with anxiety. I need to have a conversation with someone. Well, you know what? Look, man, I'm not necessarily in that field. You and I can have these conversations as brothers. You know what I'm saying? As we walk through this life as human beings. But if you need assistance, if you need real help, I'm not a therapist, but I can suggest an Emily Mitchell, a Kiara Smith. And as a matter of fact, you can tune in and hear them and see what they're putting down. And if in fact you want to call them for personal consultation, you can do that. Or guess what? If in fact you want to walk through this process on your own and build it that way with all the same information, I got this guy named Stephen Gonzalez that has Vigil, and it talks about everything that you may be going through with PTSD based on if you, and you don't necessarily have to be a disabled veteran or a veteran that are going through things. You can be the normal man that's out here or woman that's out here going through it and walk through the process. And I can assure you, it's a whole hell of a lot less than being submitted to a hospital in terms of cost. Get with your insurance company and see if they can apply that to and make it work. You got the suicide hotline 988 on there and the whole 9 yards. So when we're talking about what's going on, Paul, and who's in the backdrop talking about you, you definitely want a person like myself because it flows off my tongue like it's my own company because that's who I believe in. That's the network. That's you see what I'm saying? So it's not like it's not a fragmented speech. Mm-mm. You didn't know that through conversation. I'm talking about different businesses because I'm talking about it like it's mine own. Because I'm empowered to do so because I believe in each and every one of them, just like Inside Speaks. 10 o'clock every morning live on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. And make sure you tap into the Jarrell Braswell website at www.jbcomedy.com. I do this, Paul. I don't just make this stuff up.
I've experienced it real life, man. Real life. I've experienced exactly what you're talking about. You doing it for me. Thank you. It's the fact.
So there again, man. I appreciate you. I'm ready to kick this thing off live and in full effect. You will see Patriot BFC on the Primetime Network with Paul Whitehouse, talking about finance, talking about business, lease finance, and how to do it, how to go about doing it. Smart ways to make things happen, in the business world, as you're looking for capital for your business, you see. And like I said, man, this is, I don't even want to say a dream, right? Because if it's a dream, that means I'm still asleep. But this is a true culmination of great minds, like I was saying earlier, coming together to produce something just on a superior level, right? Now, because I'm very simple. I tell people this all the time. If I put it together and I see that it works, okay, I've got the basics of it. Or just like when I'm doing construction or building homes, putting up sheetrock, whatever the case may be, I make sure I'm doing everything the right way. But once it's up, it might look ugly at first, but once I got all of the stuff up and I done taped it and mudded it and primed everything and we're ready to go before we put paint on the walls, that's me. Practical. Does it work? Is the process working? Okay, now we can do all the bells and whistles. You see. Now we can sit there and add all the extra. A lot of times people want all the bells and the whistles and the extra, and they don't know how it works. It's the how it works phase. And I'm showing people how to do it piece by piece. You can track it. January 2026, the start of it, up to present day. So, Paul, So, Paul, on that note, that's almost like my alarm. On that note, I'm gonna go ahead on and close this thing out, and we'll revisit our conversation in terms of how we're going to build that Patriot BFC segment, right? And start being real and start being. We've been consistent. We've been here every Tuesday. I think we might have missed maybe one or two times, but we've been here every Tuesday. And so now, like I said, I know it's that time for us to launch that part of it by itself. So that sits by itself, that Patriot BFC segment. Would you agree?
I agree 100%.
Good deal. Good deal. Paul, I appreciate you for joining me here on Industry Talk and having a great time, great conversation. It's always nice to see you and hear from you. And that's all a part of what I was saying leading up to closing out, is that it's been a joy over the 5 years that 5+ years at this point, that we've made our connection. And I've enjoyed every moment and every conversation, because every conversation leads to more and more opportunity. Good deal. And everybody, you already know with me, it's always about health, wealth, wellness. Stay down. What's good, beautiful people? It's your main man, Big G. And this is my personal invite to all of you to join me on Industry Talk on the Prime Time Network daily at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, where I get into great conversations with entrepreneurs, artists, industry leaders, you name it, we bring it to the table. So make sure you tap in with us. Lock us in. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And we stream on all major platforms. And be sure to visit us at gemsitpublishing.com. This is Industry Talk. Let's get into it.
Most